Hey everybody, welcome back to another week of Art with me, Mr. Lynch. We're going to be taking on a brand new project this week, and this week it's actually going to be a two-part project. That means this week I'm going to be teaching you part number 1, which is all about drawing. Now, for the past few weeks we've been drawing with our scissors, cutting out shapes and putting them together to make pictures. This time around we're going to be doing drawing with pencils and markers. And I wanted to think about how could we draw something that's made from simple shapes? How can we take shapes that we know, like triangles, circles, squares, and make something that looks really cool? Now, I thought what could be great for this project is drawing pictures of cats. Meow. That's right, we're going to be drawing cats for this project. You're going to be able to design your own feline friend. And for inspiration for this project, I want to look at the cat paintings of Andy Warhol. Andy Warhol is most known for being a pop artist, but he also did a lot of paintings of cats. Take a look at this cat painting by Andy Warhol. Notice how each part of the cat's face is just made up of simple shapes. We've got some rounded triangles, some circles, some sort of, oblonged oval type shapes. Most pictures that we can draw can really be broken down into just simple shapes. So for this first week, we're going to be designing our own cats with just some simple shapes, and I'm going to be showing you step by step on how you can create your own feline friend. So let's get started. All right, so for this cat drawing exercise, all we're going to need is a pencil with some eraser, a Sharpie or a different black marker, and some paper. This could be notebook paper, this could be loose leaf, whatever you got lying around. All right, so I'm gonna be walking you through on how to draw a super cute cat, and there's gonna be some opportunity for you to make it your own. The very first shape that we're gonna use to build our cat is actually the letter U. Now, I bet you all know how to write the letter U. We're gonna use a capital letter U, and it's gonna be really wide. So, I'm going to start way over here, and if it's helpful, you can make a dot on one side. And way over here, I'm going to make another dot. I want to connect these two dots with a really big, almost like a giant smile. So here we go. Okay, that's pretty big. Now, I'm going to do 2 umbrella shapes coming right off of these dots as well. These are going to be the ears. Now, we don't want them too big, but we don't want them too small. I'll show you this one. There's one. And now I'm going to do another one way over here. Okay, let's connect these 2 lines. Now, so far we have our cat's head forming. We need to create some kind of nose for our cat. Now, you could choose your own shape to use as a nose. You could use a triangle, or a square, or a circle. I think I'm gonna do my nose as a heart, just like this. Zoop, zoop. Nice. And our cat needs a mouth, so I'm gonna make a big letter W, a swoopy letter W, and the middle is gonna come right up here. There's our cat's mouth. And I'm gonna give this cat some pretty big eyes. So I'm gonna, similar to the ears, I'm gonna actually have a nice big umbrella shape like this, and I'm gonna connect it at the bottom, kind of a little smile like that. Nice big cat eyes. Okay, our cat's face is coming together. Now we have to think about which way is our cat looking. To the side? Is it looking down? Is it looking up? Wherever we put our cat's pupils, the little black part in the eye, that's which way it's going to be looking. I'm going to do mine looking that way. All right. And we'll add a few details to the ears. All right, so now I'm going to include some whiskers, but just a few, because we're going to be doing a little bit more whiskers and texturing next week, 3 on each side. Now for our cat, I'm going to give it a little bit of a collar so we know who it belongs to. And instead of thinking of it as a collar, I'm just gonna think of it as a long rectangle. So I'll have a line that comes down here, a line that comes down here, and I'm gonna connect it like this. All right, and now sometimes cats can wear a little bell around their neck, and that can be to alert any animals that a cat is nearby and to watch out. So when drawing a bell, I'm gonna make a shape like this. 2 curved lines that come down, 1, 2, and then those lines are gonna get little curves that come off of them. 1, 2, they go out a little bit further. And then I'm going to connect these two. And my favorite part, the little ball on the inside. Now our cat has a bell. Now right now our cat kind of just looks like a floating cat head, so we have to give this cat a body. So I'm gonna go way up here to the corner of this collar, and I'm just gonna make a nice slanty line that goes all the way down to the bottom of my paper. Same thing on this side. And I'll do a couple lines just to show where the cat's front legs are. 1, 2. Okay, this is looking pretty good. Now, like I said before, we're gonna be adding some more textures to this next week. So really all I want for you to think about today is making sure to go over your cat in some sort of black marker or Sharpie. And this is something that we do a lot in art class. I'm gonna go back to the very beginning, and I'm gonna think about when going over my pencil lines with a Sharpie, I like to think of it as a little race car staying closely to the pathway on a racetrack. And it's not a super fast race car, it's a nice, slow race car, which I guess defeats the point of it being a race car. But it's a car nonetheless. Here we go, start your engine. And if you thought, if you want to change anything, like maybe I actually want to make this ear a little bit pointier, make sure you fix that before you go into it with Sharpie. So I noticed I got a little bit of Sharpie on my finger right there, and Sharpie is a permanent marker, which means it will stay on whatever you write on. If you get a little bit on your hand, it does wash off, but be really careful with these markers not to get it on the table or on your clothes. This stuff can stain. And another thing to make sure of, if you are working on a table that you don't want to get Sharpie on, you can always take an extra piece of paper and put it underneath. That way it won't bleed through onto the table. Okay, I'm almost done here. All right, my kitty drawing is all complete. I've completed all the Sharpie lines. Now, hold off on adding color or textures to this because we're gonna do that next week. I just want for you today to get to this point, practicing some drawing and some Sharpieing. If you see little areas that you missed, instead of going over them again with the Sharpie, you can just go back in with your pencil. The pencil is just for planning. The Sharpie is when we do it for real. All right, I hope you all enjoyed part number 1. Tune in next week for part 2 when we add color and texture to our cats. Thanks for watching.